Go!
Yay! Podcast 5.
You lucky arseholes get an early one because some...
We were late with the last one.
Well, we were late with the last one and some knobheads get married in a minute.
Yeah.
So we've got to do it.
Yeah, we've got to get it done quick. I'm very, very, very busy.
So this will be the pre-wedding podcast.
And then the other one will be the post-wedding podcast.
Yeah, where you'll seem a lot more miserable in his tone of voice.
I don't really want to do this.
Yeah. Life over.
Life is over.
Yeah.
Star Wars is shit.
It's not. No.
It's not shit.
You can rewind the podcast.
Oh God, it's not bad even joking about
my
this.
God. Right, shall we get through?
So yes, podcast 5.
Shall we get through the people we forgot to mention last time?
Yes, go on.
But last podcast we forgot to tribute it to David Guest and Ronnie Corbett, who passed away unfortunately. Never really a fan of David Guest, but he was a funny bloke.
Yeah, he was an icon.
Yeah,
I suppose,
and he was on Shooting Stars, so I'm going to love him.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Corbett, obviously, now both Ronnies are gone.
Yeah. And that's good enough.
So that's that's it. And those were meant to be in tribute for the last podcast. For this podcast,
we have more. It seems that every single time we have a podcast, someone's dead.
It's a great subject for us to cover.
Well, 2016 is going to be known as the year that everyone died.
Yeah, it's only been 4 months in. Well, 5 now.
Yeah.
So the first one was Victoria Wood.
Yes, Victoria Wood, amazing British comedian / actor.
Yeah, I liked her more for... I never really dug her stand-up, but I dug her more for what she wrote. I thought it was excellent what she wrote.
Yeah, the Dinner Ladies was really well put together.
Yeah, Dinner Ladies was pretty good. I was a big fan of Acorn Antiques because it was just so ridiculous, but so clever at the same time. I don't think... Unfortunately, we didn't really... Oh, you might have watched more stuff with her than I did. But I'm not saying I wasn't a fan, but I don't really have much to talk about.
Yeah, well, I didn't know much of her. I knew what she did and how big she was in this. Whereas same Ronnie Corbett, I don't watch loads of this stuff. I just know that he's a big icon.
Yeah.
He's a reason why this kind of comedy thing exists.
But the weird thing now of the moving on part is that as Victoria Wood was a pioneer of comedy, especially for women, we now move on to Chyna, who was the pioneer of women wrestling.
So any wrestling fans, Chyna, as you full well know by now, is dead.
It did hit me between the eyes, out of nowhere.
Didn't expect it.
But like my brother said when we talk about it, it goes, when you look at the amount of stuff she did to her body and abuse, it's kind of like, well, we should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, when it happened, damn, today's the day kind of thing.
It's just it was always really weird. The main weird thing after it happened was I was thinking to myself, what are the WWE going to do? Because they don't want anything to do with her. Yeah, they're kind of damned if they do and they're damned if they don't.
Yeah, they made the right choice.
If they don't do anything and they say nothing, people are going to think they're heartless. But if they do something, then people are going to go, oh, well, now you say something about it. You know what I mean? It's like they can't... But what they did was literally just... They put up their things on Twitter. They had their little package... ripped Chyna for the Raw episode, and that was it. I think that's all you can
did exactly what I expected. I mean, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last podcast either, but the ECW legend Balls Mahoney passed away recently as well. And I think they just did a in-memory thing of right for Raw, and that was it, straight on with the show. Yeah. I was expecting that for Chyna, and then they actually did a kind of video package, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
And also the fact that I noticed now on the WWE Network and the collections thing is one completed to the 9th wonder of the world.
Oh, there you go.
Which is right, now they're putting her back in the history
Should
books.
be going in the Hall of Fame then.
Oh, probably, yeah. It was weird because the first thing I thought when she passed away after the initial shock, I just kept thinking of what Triple H said on Austin's podcast. And I remember agreeing with him, going if my kids are going to Google her name, what's going to come up? Now it don't really matter because it doesn't matter what she did afterwards and all that. Her history declares she was she was just a pioneer for women. She nearly became. I don't know if you know the story. In SummerSlam or summer of '99, there was very serious talk. It was almost 95% certain that she was going to become the first ever female WWF champion.
And I would have been fine.
I would have been fine.
I don't think anyone would have rejected that because she was one of the very few women that could play just as well with the boys as he could with the girls.
I think it was a little bit of a concern because obviously it was the height of the Monday Night War, and it was this is a good idea for something different, something WCW hasn't done. But at the same time, it's it was going to be Austin versus Chyna for the championship at SummerSlam. Will that put butts on seats? And if we make Chyna the champion, will it make us stronger or make us a laughing stock.
Yeah, controversial.
Which is no knock to Chyna whatsoever.
But people look at it on an outside perspective.
Yeah,
and
it's a very male-dominated.
Yeah, it's all the women's champion.
So I was sad for her to go.
Finally, the Prince.
Oh man, that
Prince is gone. So Bowie and Prince in the same year.
And Lemmy just before the start of the year.
Just before the start of the year. But fuck me, it's just. Again, Prince isn't a person that I listen to excessively. I know some songs. I understand he's a pioneer and all this kind of stuff. And big respect to what he's done. But I wasn't. I didn't listen to him as much. But fuck me, it's still a blow. Yeah. It's still a big deal. It was
weird because it was the same day I heard about Chyna's passing. Because I was thinking, right, I'm seeing my brother this evening. This is what obviously I'm probably going to be talking about. And I walked in and he's walking down the stairs and he just went, "What the fuck is going on today?" I was like, "Well, what's happened?" And he told me Prince passed. And Prince, obviously I don't have actual memories of this. It's only home videos. But he was pretty much my first favourite artist because there's videos of me as a toddler grooving my ass off to Prince. And he
out of time, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. I was a child, what do you want? And,
in time.
Prince, I just, I loved his stuff ever since. But he just, for someone in that era, that could go, not only, it was the era of Michael Jackson, and he could not sometimes just hang with him, but sometimes outdo him. That's to say something. As a live performer. Yeah. And he was always writing. He was a bit puddled every now and then. But, it doesn't knock how much of a genius he was in his craft. So. Yeah. They're
the tributes to this podcast. So, should we get on with some...
Yes, take it away. Take it away.
I'll get it out of the way. Captain America Civil War.
Right, okay.
Now, he hasn't seen it yet.
No.
Because he's an idiot.
I've got a busy life.
You make time. You make time.
I was getting me link onto it.
But yeah, I've seen it. You guys can check out my spoiler review that's on the channel. But, for me talking to you, I can't stress enough how much you need to go and see this film.
I will see it. I always go and see these films. Now, since the last podcast, I have now actually seen Batman vs Superman.
Oh yeah, you haven't you?
Which I get why people had a problem with it, but I still liked it better than I expected I would. After all the negative.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't terrible.
No,
it was just not great considering the build-up.
It was weird because it didn't feel like it was... Well, I knew from the get-go it's a Superman sequel and Batman's in it. But even the scenes... Batman was probably in it more than Superman.
Batman owned it.
Yeah, but it still felt like a Superman film. Even though Batman was on screen most of the time. And I know you dug Ben Affleck, but I still don't think he did a good job.
I did. I think he's the best Batman we've had.
I'm not saying he did a bad job, but it just seemed... Maybe we're comparing it to the Batman in the games, because the Batman in the games...
Oh yeah, you can't compare it to that. I know, I'm talking about on-screen Batmans.
But the guy from the game, and even in the animated series, he was very... Yeah, just very...
Yeah, but kept himself it's the same thing with the Joker. It's like Heath Ledger might be phenomenal, but he's not Mark Hamill.
No, but with those Batmans, he kept himself very sophisticated, very serious, to the point, never really shown cracks in... his anger or his emotions. Ben Affleck was always gritted teeth, all that, which you probably like.
Yeah, because he's a damaged character, because he's had Robin die and everything. He's been retired for a few years, and he's having to come back out of retirement to stop this god. Yeah, and, he's got a chip on his shoulder, and that shows.
Yeah. Well, the things I did like, I knew in the comic books that Doomsday killed Superman. I didn't think they'd kill him off in the film. Spoiler alert. I didn't think they'd kill him off in the film.
You should know by now, guys. Podcast means spoilers.
But you should also know, if you're a fan of this, that just because I said Superman died, he ain't dead. We know he's not dead. Even at the end of the film.
I said this in my review. The thing that annoys me is the fact that we already knew he was going to be in the Justice League. Mm-hmm. One, because they announced the Justice League, and two, because they showed all the concept art with Superman in it. So don't give us that moment of oh my god, Superman's dead, what's going to happen? Yeah. And then having he's alive at the very end. There's no tension there, because of course we know that's going to happen. Before that dirt even risen from that, rose from that
the coffin.
I knew he was already alive. I knew that was going to happen.
The thing is, I think they direct it towards either the new generation of people, of kids that don't really know the backstory, because that probably knocked them for six when they saw that the first time, or those...
Unfortunately, they're appealing to the casual viewer there.
Yeah, that's it. And they come up... But I get that why they should do that, but they must know that
there's too many people that are...
They're
that know their shit now. Like, you know what I mean? Know what's going on. With social media, you're able to find this stuff out, and they tell you.
The weird thing is they know their strongest audience is the diehard fans, like who know the backstory and the comics and all that. But they will always, and I get why they do this as well, they will always target the family audience, which is the casual audience. So they've got to, try and make the best of both worlds. But anyway, that didn't really knock it for me, that bit.
No, it just had a lot of plot problems and just convolution. It was so many things going on at once, and
there was a lot I did like about it, though. Wonder Woman kicked ass.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
The fact that while she was on the computer, you saw hints of the other members of the Justice League. The Flash, I didn't like the look of him.
The bits were cool. It was just the way it was done. It was stupid. It was like, an email. And
well, yeah,
with logos as well. That was weird. It's
Alexis gave them the logos.
Who makes the logos? Why has he got a logo department for all these superhumans?
Yeah,
what is that?
That tells me that Lex Luthor has made the logos for them already, which is a bit dumb. But they showed the Flash, which he looked like a little Chinese kid from what way.
He is Chinese.
Yeah, which I've got no problem with him being Chinese, but I always thought if you watch the Flash, the TV show, after 2 series, he was the perfect choice for me. Aquaman looked badass.
Well, yeah.
Was it
the cyborg thing?
Yeah, that freaked me out a little bit. And then there was one more. Who the hell was it?
It was Wonder Woman herself.
Oh, yeah, it was just Wonder Woman. Because, Batman and Superman were doing their thing. So, yeah, there was that. And I thought Eisenberg nailed it with Lex Luthor.
I didn't.
Oh, what?
Don't get me wrong, he acted really well. He's a damn good actor, and he acted this crazy persona so well, but it's not Lex Luthor. I'm sorry, but it's not. If you want to build up that craziness, that attitude of, he's got a screw loose, you build it up over certain films. You don't just hit him straight at 100 miles an hour in the first film. And also, it's the fact that he should be the same as what Batman is. He has 2 separate personas. He has his real persona where he's a fucking nutcase. Then he has a persona in front of the public eye where he's very official and he's very, professional. And he wasn't. He was having a meet. He's having that
press conference.
The press conference, and he was twitching. It's like, no,
yeah.
you can't. You have to differentiate them. It's like you can't do that, and it was too crazy too soon.
That was the
build it up slowly, and it's the film overall was rushed.
Yeah, I think
that's the problem. It was rushed.
The fact that I remember a few years ago they're going, "We're doing Batman vs Superman. Get hyped for this." It's like, amazing. But at the end of the day, they made it a build-up film to Justice League.
It should have been called Batman vs Superman. It
just Dawn of Justice.
Just Dawn of Justice, and they would have been met with a lot less criticism.
Yeah, if they just...
And just the way they stopped fighting as well. It was a shit thing. Their mum's names are both Martha. How shit is that for writing? It's bad writing.
Yeah, I mean, I never really liked the one who played Lois in the story.
Well, I think she was alright, but with this film, she was just kind of... She was exposition.
Yeah.
She was there to move the plot along.
I mean, the reason I like that... This is weird that you dig Ben Affleck in this and I don't, and I dig Eisenberg and you don't. But the way I saw Eisenberg...
But again, film's subjective.
Yes, but... What they did with Lex was similar to what I thought they did with Heath's Joker in The Dark Knight. They kind of tried to rebirth it, make it their own.
But I just feel like you shouldn't have done it with Lex Luthor. You should have done it with Joker.
The one I liked was when he blew up the Parliament. That she just saw
that was a good scene.
The jar. But I was like, then the penny dropped as the penny dropped for her on me. Yeah. Like, saw the wheelchair, like, oh god, and then bang.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Like I said, there are good bits in it.
It showed the evil.
It's not terrible. Yeah. It's just there's some problems.
It showed the evil insanity of Lex, which is what I liked. But anyway, we're moving on. Captain America, sorry. We digressed.
Meant to be talking about Civil War, but yeah, I mean, I'll quickly just sum it up for you, man. I'm not going to spoil anything, because obviously I don't want to spoil it because it is really, really good. It is the Dark Knight of the Marvel films. It is absolutely incredible from start to finish. That the Russo brothers directors have just found this way of making this Captain America character so awesome and just know how to push these characters forward. And the greatest thing about it is with all these convoluted characters, because there were so many Avengers in there, so many characters and bad guys.
It could have felt like an Avengers film.
It could have been, like an Avengers film. It could have felt like it was too overloaded and saturated. But it wasn't. Every character had their moments. Every character, you knew why they were on what team and for what reason, and their morals and how they're dealing with this problem.
Yeah.
And yet, at the heart of it, when you strip it back, it is still a Captain America film. It's still him and Bucky that are the focus.
Yeah, that's the main plot.
They did it absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah.
And the airport scene, incredible. Absolutely fucking... Probably one of the best action scenes I've seen.
Because...
Absolutely amazing. Especially with Spider-Man in the mix as well. Which, by the way, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the best on-screen Spider-Man you will ever see. I can't see anybody beating it. He's done so well with it. He hits it to absolute perfection. And again, but it's because he has these characters like Tony Stark to bounce off. Yeah, and it works so well.
See, I'll take your opinion on the Spider-Man thing until I see it. But like you said with the Ben Affleck, you thought it was the best Batman. And I was like, eh. So I might agree with you about the Spider-Man thing. Because I remember when obviously the Marvel stuff started, when Iron Man started and Thor, when Captain America was announced. I wasn't too bothered about it.
Neither was I.
Then I watched the first one and thought, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier blew me away.
Incredible. Yeah, and this is the thing. Slowly but surely, Captain America has become...
You can see why he's the leader.
He's my favourite character now.
Yeah.
And it's because every single film that he's in, his character's developed. He's moved on to his next stage in his life. He's pushed forward and he's developed so well as a character. It's just like every single time he grows every film.
But to the core, he's a patriot.
And to the core, he's a good person.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all want to be a good person, and that's the kind of... He's the beacon of that in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
He is a really, really good character.
Yeah. Just to kind of move on, but keep on the Marvel thing, I think we talked about the X-Men Apocalypse trailer.
Yeah, well, no, we talked about the...
Because I knew there was a new one.
But then the final trailer...
So that wasn't the one we were talking about last time. Right, great. Right, we can talk about it.
So yeah, moving on. X-Men Apocalypse final trailer.
The thing is...
I've reviewed it again, but we'll get your feelings.
As it went on, I did think, right, this movie still looks cool, but it seems to be just a lot of extended moments of the scenes we've already seen.
I thought that.
But I did like the fact that...
But there were some new bits.
What was it, Nightcrawler versus Quicksilver in the cage?
No, Nightcrawler versus Angel.
Yes, Angel. That looks like it's going to be cool.
It's going to be good. See, anything with Nightcrawler, I'm in. Take my money.
He looks like he's nailing the Nightcrawler thing. A lot of it was like, I think they did actually show Mystique getting choked again. Which is like,
the same everything we've built
will
fall.
Well, also actually now seeing the birth of Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's just, again, a lot of it's just recycled stuff.
The one thing we didn't speak about from the last one was how clever the start of the last trailer was. Like, doesn't it ever haunt you?
Yeah, the rehashing of the
conversation they had.
Good.
Which now brings more meaning to the end of X-Men 1 of like, this isn't just a conversation they're having in prison, it's like, this is a meaningful moment of words that they've had, like, because now you can see when they have that little like look at each other, like Pat Stewart and Ian McKellen. It's not just the clever words. All that sentence or that conversation means something from the past, and then he just ends it with like, "Why do you come here, Charles?" And it's always like that kind of. He always seems irritated. He did in the film, and and now he feels that you can see the irritation to its core of. No matter what Magneto does, Xavier always finds a way to stop him. But the new trailer, the end of it, man.
The end of it was great. I mean, that is exactly what we needed. It's just like, you've been busy. It's like, we had some help.
Bang! Well, yeah, it was an amazing film anyway.
That was cool.
And because I didn't know he was confirmed for it yet.
I
thought he'd have a cameo.
Yeah, I knew he was. It was kind of like unspoken rule that he was going to appear.
Yeah, just seeing the camera like running down the corridor. You kind of with Wolverine before you see it. He's running down the corridor. The hand comes with the claws. I was just like, okay, cool. This is now the best. The only thing I'm worried about now is that this whole scene with Wolverine is going to happen like somewhere in the middle of the film. Yeah.
Which I'm fine with as long as they do it right. It's just that for me personally, I was kind of hoping he'd be part of the final battle.
Yeah.
Like he'd come in for the extra help at the end kind of thing. It's like, I know someone, I can get someone to help us. And you get Wolverine at the final fight. I'm kind of hoping that was the case, but it doesn't look like that's going to... It looks like a Weapon X isn't it? So I don't know what's going on.
One of my theories was, obviously, this is now still in the past, so to speak, of X-Men 1 hasn't happened. But X-Men 1 hasn't happened yet. They're still...
But the thing is, it's rewritten, so technically... Depending on what goes on here, X-Men 1 won't happen.
I know we could... One of the presumptions is, because the end of the last one, Mystique seemed to have possession of Wolverine's body. But we could presume that, some of history will go the way it does, and he will, get the experiment to get his adamantium claws.
Mm-hmm.
A part of me's thinking, is there a scene that's going to happen in the Apocalypse where... that in that facility or that lab, and at the exact moment in the same lab is where Wolverine's getting his, experiment, and that would explain it could be a scene where these prisoners try to escape and go, something happened, and we just looked around the corner, all these guards had already been put down because Logan's escaped. It could be like a power, like while apocalypses happen, Wolverine's just literally become Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, is wishful thinking, and it's a theory, but
we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though is that more and more I watch these trailers back, I think Havoc's dust. I think he's dead.
Yeah. Well, he did die in the comic, didn't he?
He seems to be there at the start of the movie. Like, the way you look at the trailers, you try and put to where it's going to be in the film.
Like him in Cerebro.
You see him in Cerebro doing that, and you see him talking and everything, but you never see him suited up, you never see him in the final fight, and it makes me feel like he's going to be the big catalyst for why they're going to go against... Not go against Apocalypse, but to go, right, he's killed one of ours, we have to take him down.
It wouldn't surprise me, like, there's that thing where Charles is like, I've never felt power like this before, his eyes go all black. That Apocalypse's power kind of infects Cerebro, and there's like a battle of wills in the head, because the thing with Havoc, I always noticed that behind him Charles is screaming bloody murder.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
I'm thinking, if Apocalypse has tried this sort of thing to go, right, I know with my powers, I know where Charles is, I've got a plan, I'm going to do all this power shit when we're like connected telepathically, and something's going to shoot out and bang, Charles is dead.
Yeah.
If he misses his target because Havoc is standing right in front of Charles, that could be the end of Havoc.
Yeah.
So like almost a bullet made for Charles, but Havoc took it unintentionally, and that could be a guilt thing for Charles and lead to him
more things.
Well, yeah, shaking his head, kind of thing, you know. I'm so depressed. It's over for Havoc.
That's one thing made me laugh. Like when the old Super Bowl trailer, very end when the door's open, he's bald and he's sitting. In his chair.
It didn't look right.
I know, I didn't mind it, but if you look closely, there's one hair he's missed, and I swear to God, it's like sticking out. But as soon as you see it, you will never unsee it. Every time you just see that hair just poking out,
it's like, damn it!
Like, come on.
I'm going to see it now.
Right,
let's go. Move on.
Independence Day second trailer. Did you see that? I mean, we'll just brush over it quickly. I saw it. I didn't review it because there's so much going on that week. I didn't get a chance.
Still not impressed.
I'm intrigued.
That's the thing.
I'm intrigued, but the only problem is I felt like there were too many jokes in this trailer. A lot of them coming from Jeff Goldblum's character, and I feel like slowly that his character is becoming a parody of the character. Like, he's like the person that has to make the quips and everything. It's just like, it worked in the old film because you had Will Smith to bounce off and the comedy was natural and it worked, but there was still a very serious undertone of the film. But with this, it feels like it's loads of action, loads of aliens and funny quips. And it's just, I don't know whether it's going to work.
The thing is, when I heard about the sequel, I'm thinking, right, we're going back to the roots here, because some people might argue with this, but for a lot of the 90s, for that decade, the blockbusters were king. Yeah. They were all the blockbusters.
And it was disaster films that made it.
Yes,
they were
but they always hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Do you remember a few years ago there was that awful film? I think it was called Battleship, and it had Rihanna in it.
I heard about it, and as soon as I saw that Rihanna was in it, I was like, I'm not interested. She's not an actor.
It's still beginning to feel like
it's
Michael Bay CGI jizz over.
But it's Michael Bay directing it,
I agree with the premise that now they're doing a sequel, that it's a good idea. They've gone with the whole. Well, we've used some of their technology to defend themselves, but they've gone all mad out on it.
The concept's good, and in theory, the plot's,
It's been 20 years,
it's good, that's fine, but it just, like I say, they're going a bit mad with it.
Yeah. The bit that...
it doesn't seem like it's going to be stripped back as a good blockbuster.
But the bit that surprised me is that the Doctor, I thought, had died in the first one.
He's there?
Yeah. Still got a bandage on his neck.
Yeah.
But he hasn't aged. And neither's Jeff Goldblum's father. I'm like... Right. How are you still alive?
At least we know Will Smith's character's 100% dead. They said it in the trailers.
Well, yeah, I do like the photograph, though, that he's like, okay, he's approved his image.
Yes.
So it will kind of feel... I know when they got his son in it, and the little girl, the president, now looks hot.
Yep.
So...
I don't think it's the same girl.
No, of course not.
Imagine if it was. That would be cool.
That would be cool, but it'd be like... Well, it has been 20 years, so... But I don't know. It's, again, I feel the same way about it as I do with Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
but
a lot of people don't want to. No one's interested in seeing the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
I'm not. I wasn't interested in the first one.
That's the thing. Nobody's interested in it except for me. So I feel like I'm going to be the only one that's going to go because I want to see this kind of balls to the wall.
I think Schwib might be interested in it.
I might go.
I know the podcast people probably don't have no idea who he is, but someone to call. Who are you going to call? There you go. Who are you going to call? Hey, Josh Twigger. Moving on. Right, moving on.
There was casting news as well. Do you know an actor called Nathan Fillion?
I do not.
Well, he's been in a few things. I don't know him really well. I just know that he was in Guardians of the Galaxy as that big blue thing.
Oh, yes.
And
what
then
would look like was going to be the main bad guy.
No.
Oh.
That blue thing in prison where Groot puts his thing up his nose.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
He did that. He did the mocap for that.
Right.
He's been officially cast as a role in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as his character called Wonder Man.
Okay, sounds a bit lame.
Exactly, that's what I thought.
Sounds like again, a 60s wrestler.
I always go into Guardians of the Galaxy quite blind because I don't know a lot about the universe, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about the characters. It's because of the film I know more than I did before.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Wonder Man, but apparently he's quite an integral character. But Nathan Fillion, I've heard, is a good actor, so I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Oh, yeah, you never know. What was I going to say? We'll continue with films. Mine's mainly to do with music and stuff. So just go, unless you're going on to music now.
Well, no, I've got other things as well.
Well, yeah,
Did you know about Star Wars Celebration?
No, but now thinking
It's basically like a Star Wars Comic Con.
We already spoke about Rogue One.
Yeah, we've done all that. That's
Yeah.
all been done and dusted.
Yeah.
Star Wars Celebration is like a big Star Wars Comic Con, basically.
Right.
And it's always in America, and it's always fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's in London this year.
Ah, right.
And I looked online, and for anybody that doesn't know, anyone's in the UK, it's in London this year, and it's the 15th to the 17th of July.
Right.
And I think it's 30 to 40 quid a ticket.
So live on podcast, you're putting it on me like you sending the invite of pressure. Like, do I say yes or no now?
No, I'm not saying. No,
Maybe.
I'm hoping. I want to go but the problem is
cool.
I'm going on my honeymoon in July. But
Don't worry, it's pretty soon.
I
really,
want to go. You know what I mean? I really want to go. So if you're free,
well, yeah.
hopefully we'll
If
do
we're
it.
both
But for anybody
free,
else that hasn't heard about it, which I'm pretty sure you have, but yeah, it's in London this year. Mark Hamill's going to be there and all.
Oh, cool. What's happening, mate? I think there's another one I've been eyeing up. I can't remember the official name for it, but you know, great way to advertise this podcast is a pure video game one. It might just be as simple as GameCon,
Yeah, something like that.
but it's everything from like the retro Sega Mega Drives, original Game Boys, all that kind of stuff. Probably some kind of Pong. To today's consoles, Xbox Ones and PS4s and all that.
Yeah.
There is a rumor that they're gonna not show like any images because it's far from actually happening, but kind of revealing their ideas of what they want to do with the PS5.
Right.
Because PS4's been out 2 years now.
Yeah, they normally have it out about 5 to 6 years before they're officially revealing the next
I
console.
think they'll do the ideas. The following year will be like it's in the works, and the third will be like here it is. Get ready for it to be released when we say it's ready. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Speaking of gaming, again, this is not one that you're really worried about, but I can imagine that you respect it as a game because it made a lot of things happen.
It made
before
impact.
games. Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
They delayed it again.
Oh my god!
Again, it was meant to come out later this. Obviously, even you know it, and you don't even.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, apparently they've delayed it again until 2017 because they're bringing out the next console, which is called the NX or something like that.
Right.
Nintendo NX.
So this is beginning to sound like
it's going to be again. I think they're going to do with that what they did with Twilight Princess, where they released it on both consoles.
right.
So again, they've delayed it.
So this is Nintendo's version of GTA. We'll wait for GTA, then it'll be delayed another year.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
That's the
Christ.
third time. Third time it's been delayed now.
But they did that with was it GTA 4?
Yeah.
Like 3 times, and then even when it was released, it was like it's good, and then by the end of it, but it weren't great.
But it weren't great.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm worrying about. But the only thing I've got hope for is that with Nintendo, they always deliver.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes, especially when it comes to Legend of Zelda, like Zelda and Mario, the two, but Zelda, they always deliver with it. There's never been a bad Zelda game necessarily. Yeah. They've always been really good games for their time.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm thinking if they delay it, that's fine as long as it ends up being great. But from the footage I've seen, I can't say it's going to be bad.
If on the video game premise, there's only a couple I want to go through. I know they're doing another Ghostbusters video game, which I was at first happy about because the original was amazing.
It's going to be the reboot.
But it's based on the new movie. I'm like, not happening. No, I'm not even thinking about getting it. There was just almost like what we were talking about when you walked in. I'm just here. I know it's been out a while, but if you haven't played any of the Arkham games, play them. I would
play them now.
I'd say play them in order, otherwise you're going to ruin a lot of stuff for yourself. But Arkham Knight is just
amazing.
It's
the best Batman game I've ever played.
You know, sometimes you play a game and go, "Oh, it's great," but you know, I'm always going to talk about another one that from the past, like the like Oddworld or Mario, and go, yeah, still got nothing on that. This is like perfect for this century. I can't think of a fault on it.
I can't think of a better Batman game I've ever played.
No.
And that's actually, to be honest, I don't think there's a better superhero game I've ever played. Well, it's that good.
The fact that when Arkham Asylum
4 stars or more reviews.
When Arkham Asylum was released, I was like, this is an incredible game. And then Arkham City was like, oh my god, you topped that. And then Origins like, oh my god, you topped that. And they did it again. They're always outdoing themselves. And I'm thinking, this is excellent.
Yeah.
And
shame's all over.
Well, yes, but I then began thinking to myself, they could always, it went Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, which was a prequel. If they did something like Arkham Chronicles, and just maybe not,
maybe continue the story and be the Red Hood.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be. I'd be all right with that.
But there's the whole thing with Azrael as well.
Yeah.
So you never know where they might go with it. The only other one was, I know you're not into this either. They released a new trailer for Call of Duty. I think it's Infinite Warfare.
Right. And I'm thinking, how much more can they do?
Oh my god! Right, Ghost's got a bad rap. Call of Duty Ghost, and so did Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3 kind of saved them a bit, but me and one of my mates are playing it at the minute, and it still seems too futuristic. A Call of Duty game should be down, gritty war, whether it be modern day or a few years ago, or even in the depths of World War I Vietnam. My mate told me about the trailer. He goes, what the hell? It's like, basically the one that got it for me is like, you can now have fights in space. It's like, that is not Call of Duty.
That's going Halo, but isn't it?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm really pissed off about it. However, they are re-releasing a HD version of the original Modern Warfare. Right. And even people, again, like how big Modern Warfare was. It's like the most popular Call of Duty game ever. Yeah. And people are more excited about the add-on than the actual thing. So there's your news on Call of Duty.
Should we do wrestling stuff?
We'll do the wrestling thing, because I got a couple for that.
Yeah, well, I've got just the regular about Payback and Raws and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, right, okay.
Let's not dwell on it too much.
No,
we can babble.
Yeah, we can babble.
Right, ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3.
I wanted to spice it up a bit. Yeah.
We're going to mix it up to make sure it's live and we're not recording it.
We do it live.
Just tap it on, we do it live. Because we fucked it up last time.
We did. We had to do a couple of takes.
I mean, let's go with Payback first, I think.
Okay. I have something else in mind.
Again, I've reviewed it. It's on my thing, so check it out. I give it 3 out of 5 stars.
I'll go with 3.5.
Yeah, it was like I say, it was a solid pay-per-view.
Yes.
It was solid. There was a few things I was like, about, but overall it was a solid pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. It was better than I possibly could thought it was.
That's it. But my stand is, after it was done, I was like, it weren't the best pay-per-view I've seen, but I agree that, maybe this is the start of the new era.
Yeah, they were really pushing that. And to be honest, when I look back at all the people that were on the list, Jericho's the only one that was an older person.
Yeah.
A pre-era one.
Everyone else was new. Era guy.
Yeah, really. Everyone else was new.
Mm. Which means, they're doing all right. I mean, I think the thing of the shock of the night was the accident.
Yeah.
That I was very concerned when I first saw that.
That was awful.
Because it was weird, because obviously I was with a couple of our mates and we were kind of talking and watching, and I turned to see it happen, and obviously it happened so fast, I thought...
He just whipped back.
I thought, oh, that's rough. And then I saw him there, eyes
rolling back.
Yeah, lights on, no one's home. I thought, oh my God, he broke his neck on the bottom rope. And, New Day looked concerned. Cass was there, the ref did the X thing, and before I know it, the bell rang. I was like, right, he's genuinely fucked here. Yeah. And then they showed the replay, and it was almost a relief of showing that it's just his arm got entangled in, almost both ropes. But because of it, his head flung back, smacked the canvas with some force, and probably got the whiplash effect as well as the concussion. Yeah. So he was just out. But at the initial time, it was like, he's broke his neck.
Yeah, of course you were. I mean, even when there was an exclusive thing after when he was being put into that ambulance, you just see how upset Cass was. He's being consoled by one of the team. Because he looked so upset. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
You don't.
First pay-per-view debut for these two.
First match of the night.
First match
it's
of the
like,
night.
this is going to stop the momentum already, kind of thing.
Luckily, after that, we had Owens Zayn, and that was the match of the night.
That I knew it would.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, these guys, it proves that they should be fighting forever. It doesn't matter whether you put a belt on them or not. It doesn't matter what stipulation you put in them. You can just have them in just a match, even if it lasted 5 minutes, and you guarantee, no matter what, these two can get absolute gold.
If they continue to do it right, like now, I'm pretty sure the way they're going to go with it is that they'll probably be in the same matches, but it won't be one-on-one for a while. They'll probably be in the same Money in the Bank. I think the way they're going with the Intercontinental, it's going to be a fatal four-way.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I mean, I quite liked adding that into the Intercontinental.
I do.
There's a few people that I saw on the reviews online, a lot of people didn't like that, took the spotlight away from Miz and Cesaro. I was like, but...
A couple of the guys that I was watching it with didn't. I thought it was a pretty good idea.
It was cool.
Because...
They called the Miz Mike as well.
Yeah, but the fact... Matt was the one losing his shit about it. I was like, no, because it reminded me of what I said to you and Twig when Daniel Bryan won the championship and then Randy cashed in and the Triple H turn. It was like, we hate it, but it's damn good television.
Yeah, and this is like halfway through.
The fact that Cesaro got into tap and the ref was like, you're like, come on, no! That's the point.
The heat of Owens being on commentated, like Sarah.
It's excellent.
Exactly. Me and Sarah watching, and Sarah goes, oh, I fucking hate him. It's like, exactly, and that's why. He's
point.
Awesome. He's so good at getting heat. He's brilliant as a heel. He's one of the best. He's probably the best heel in the company.
Yeah.
He's incredible. It's like the fact that like every time he's on screen, the missus is going, I don't like him, means he's doing his job.
Yeah. I think what they need to do now is, keep him in the storyline together for a while, but in fatal four ways, maybe the Money in the Bank out of the match, and then let him kind of go off in their separate ways.
Yeah, they've got to drift eventually. They can't do it forever, but at the end of the day, it's a case of no matter what, whenever they do go against each other, it's going to be awesome.
But if they do it right, maybe not next year's Royal Rumble, but the following, Will wins the Rumble, the other's got the championship, so they headline WrestleMania. It can easily become the new Rock and Austin.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, but they need to do it right. They've dropped the ball so many times. One of my favourite parts of the night, because I just did not see it coming, was the Chicago Screwjob.
I didn't like it.
I thought it was a brilliant idea.
Didn't like it. Because I said it on my review. The reason I don't like it is because the Montreal Screwjob is not something that you should remember as being a staple of the history. It's something that is a bad thing that happened.
But it is.
It's part of the history, and I understand it's there, and it's a big talking point. And it always will be, but it's not a positive. It is a negative. It is a bad thing. It's a thing that shouldn't have happened, and trying to recreate that to get a little bit of extra buzz shouldn't have happened.
At the time, I agree. It was a very negative thing, and it was. I think the main concern at that point, even by Vince after he did it, was like, this could destroy us, what I've done, but I couldn't take the risk. But the positive was it created the character Mr. McMahon, which pretty much it gave us like the edge we needed for the Attitude Era and the Monday Night War. What I liked about it was I didn't see it coming. I thought, oh my God, that's going to get so much heat, because Flair and Charlotte already had heat anyway. The fact that Brett was there, and the fact that now it's not just as simple as who's going to fight the women's champion and they're going to win or lose. They're putting a storyline on it. And they didn't really used to do that with the women's division. It was just like, there'd be a title match.
It depends on where it goes. I mean, Brett, though, I don't think it didn't look like he really wanted to be there.
Well, no, but I was glad to see that he was well.
Yeah, but when he was trying to hook in the sharpshooter, that made me laugh. It's just like...
Yeah, don't topple over.
It's just like, oh God, that was just awful.
Did you watch the pre-show?
Yeah, I watched the pre-show.
I was shocked Ziggler won.
Yeah, I don't think with the position that he's in at the moment, I don't think he should have won. Corbin should have gone over because they're building him up at the moment. But I think it's a shocker. If Ziggler was a bigger thing, then
that's what made me think: are they going to do something with Ziggler soon?
I don't know.
But it's a shocker. And I was surprised at how good the Ryback Kalisto thing. I knew you'd be annoyed as soon as Ryback did that.
I didn't mention this on review. I totally forgot about it. But the second I saw it, I was like, "You bastard!
Oh.
Ryback, you little bastard!"
Did you see what it said on his belt?
On his belt, it said
"Pre-show stuff."
Pre-show stuff. I'll be honest, it was bad. Like it was like that awful. But I think to myself, no, it's getting good heat. It's making him a good heel. Yeah, for the people that aren't aware of what I'm on about. When he came out and did his usual entrance and everything, as soon as he finished his part of the entrance, he went down onto one knee, rubbed the bottom of the floor, and then tapped his hand, just like CM Punk does before he does his clobbering time.
And where
because we're in Chicago.
Oh, man.
And I'm sorry, but it got heat. It was a horrible thing, because you know that Punk's going to see that and probably rant on Twitter about it. And they've got this war going on them, and you can see it's happening.
They never liked each other.
Yeah, they don't like each other. It's still happening now. You know what I mean? Because apparently his UFC thing got delayed because of the injury that he sustained from Ryback, and there's just animosity between the two of them. So this is just going to stoke the fire.
Well, yeah, but even during the McMahon segment, there was a loud CM Punk chants, and Vince almost to a degree acknowledged it.
It's just like, is that all you got? And it's just like, you're acknowledging that fact. It's like, but at the end of the day, you go into Chicago,
you expected it.
What do you expect?
And Vince is kind of like, I think...
You just have to accept the fact it's there.
Yeah, he said the line, but...
Again, it's like that... I admire Vince for that, for accepting it and just, like, dealing with
freedom of speech.
But then he went and took it all back, because as soon as Reigns came out, they were muting his boos again.
Yeah.
And you could tell they were. It's just like... where is the balance here? Exactly. It's like you do one thing and then you do another to be a complete dick.
I think all three of them, man. I know Shane and Steph didn't really have to do much with the Punk chant, but he handled it well because the whole "is that all you got" was more to me. It was like if he could speak to them one by one, it'd be like you can chant all you want, but he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Even if I did or didn't want him to come back, I know, and you know for a fact that at this moment in time, it ain't going to happen.
Because he doesn't want to.
No, and he probably will never come back.
He's busy. He's doing UFC. He's not interested.
Yeah, I think it was more they chant to kind of say, fuck you to Vince.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I mean, I think CM Punk said in a review, in a podcast or an interview of some kind, he said at some point, he said it's getting to the point now where the CM Punk chants are literally, they're not a CM Punk chant for CM Punk. They're a chant towards Vince to say, fuck you.
It's like what the yes thing is, mate.
It's a fuck you chant to basically say it's because of you CM Punk isn't here kind of thing. And it's...
The yes chants are obviously, they're always going to be linked to Daniel Bryan, but they're not saying yes anymore just because to say we want Daniel Bryan. It's that when something happens that they agree with or that they want, they will use that chant.
It's the same thing with the what thing for Austin.
When they're bored.
Yeah.
And they want to piss someone off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So main event wise, it was a good main event.
AJ obviously carried it, but I was impressed.
Fully expected Reigns to retain. I knew that was going to be
I was impressed with Roman's performance. I will give credit where it's due.
Yep.
Was a bit disappointed that the Bullet Club didn't really do much, and there was no Finn.
No.
So it's like, and there was no Seth because Seth was rumoured to be there. He might have been backstage, but because he's now apparently been medically cleared. It's just when.
Well, this is the thing.
Same with Orton.
Now, because that's the thing. When we were watching it, I think Sarah said, "What if Seth comes out?" I said, "Well, it's not going to happen because at this point, I don't think he's 100% cleared that he's close when he's not there." But I said, if you're going to do that, I think SummerSlam is the time to do it.
I see him. I don't see him returning at SummerSlam. I see him wrestling at SummerSlam. So I think that he'll return later to build up more butts on seats. Battleground, which would be smart because I think I said that in
because it will get extra buys for Battleground. But then again, you don't want to mention that Seth's coming back.
No.
But say when they said that May 30th Cena's coming back, don't mention it. Because for those people, we're not bothered because we're not really that bothered about Cena. But for the people that are, it's a nice big shocker when you hear his music. You know what I mean? Even for the people that not a fan of him, is that you have no idea in his music. He goes, Cena's back. Right.
What I'd like as almost go with the what culture thing here. I did with the payback thing. I did like the fact they I didn't at first like the fact, and I still don't, that it was so building up that Shane and Steph they might have the brand split, and then he's like, when he says you're both together, it kind of went. Everyone kind of went, oh.
Yeah.
All right.
But again, it's like the brand split thing. It's like, that's what I thought was going to happen. But I thought it's not yet because the roster's too weak. Yeah. It's too thin.
So, but the whole thing of like, when AJ got counted out, when Roman got counted out, I thought, there's no way they're ending that way.
But that's the thing. At the time, I generally thought that was the way it ended.
No way.
And because of that...
There was like 20 minutes left.
To be honest, that shows the faith in the fans for WWE. It's like, this kind of shit has happened before, so that wouldn't surprise me if that's the way it's ended.
The Shane came out, start again, no count-outs. The accidental low blow by Roman.
Yeah, and then Steph... As soon as that happened, I thought, Steph's coming out.
But it's a perfect build-up to go, well, right, there was a count-out disqualification problem last time, we need to get rid of that. Extreme Rules is the way.
Yeah. I do like the fact that Shane and Steph are getting involved, purely because...
They're in charge.
They're in charge, but it's just that this tit for tat, one up in each other kind of thing. If they start interjecting themselves into matches and start doing
it's going to build up to something.
It's going to build up to something, and again, it adds spice to matches.
Yes.
If they're doing this, then I'm fine with it. If you're just having a random match between Ziggler and Corbin or something like that in Monday Night Raw, and then they just pop up and just go, oh, by the way, It's no holds barred. And they're just like, fuck me. It's like, it's instantly spiced things up. And there's a reason. It's not like they've just done it just for us. They're doing it to further the plot between the brother and sister of going against each other. Yeah. So there's a way they can just keep doing that. Just, I say, follow on. What? Like at least once a week. You go to a match. Escalate it every week.
My what culture thing, so I won't go over the Raw and SmackDown, so just quickly go over the pay-per-views to SummerSlam. Well, I would like to have an Extreme Rules, because the rumour is, obviously, it's very much looking like the Bullet Club's going to happen, and AJ might reveal himself as, oh yeah, I've always been intertwined. Yeah. The main rumour is that the Bullet Club are going to betray AJ, and the Balor Club will come into play. Yeah. But Balor coming in as a heel is, like, interesting. Can it work? What would make it work is that everybody wants to see... They want to see Finn, yes, but they want to see the Demon. And I think they should wait for that. If Finn turns heel and goes even at pay-per-views, because I'm a bad guy, I'm not going to make myself up for you. I'm Finn, I do what I want. They do that kind of thing, and screw AJ Extreme Rules, it's like, you guys suck. And they can keep doing that, and Finn does this thing of, like, we are stronger than ever. Maybe get someone else involved, a new member of the Balor Club to help them out. So there's the four, they look at a strong unit and they suddenly go, right, AJ, you're going to be either in the Money in the Bank ladder match or another title match, whatever. But they're like, we will make sure you don't win. Money in the Bank happens, he's doing whatever match he's in, the Balor Club appear, and you're like, oh, these guys, like, can't AJ get a break? Before you know it, it just goes, fuck! And he goes back, and all four of the Wyatt family are in front of the Balor Club. You're like...
Balor Club versus Wyatt family.
Oh, my God.
Fuck me.
But the same thing, when something happens where AJ still doesn't get his shot, but he's like, right, I want all or nothing, one more shot at Battleground. And they go, okay, that's when Seth comes in and either attacks AJ or just makes it a no contest. And goes, the rivalry between AJ and Seth can develop then. Of Seth, like, just because I've been gone, you're on the spot I should be. That title's mine. Get out of my way.
I didn't lose the title; it was taken away from me.
Yeah, if SummerSlam goes, it's going to be AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. That will get my butt in the seat.
Fuck me, yeah.
That'd
be amazing.
And I'm so sure that this year Kevin Owens is going to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it's either going to be him or Zayn.
Yeah,
it's going to be one
if it's Kevin Owens, it will be obviously a heel cash-in. If it's Zayn, I see Zayn doing what a couple of the face guys have done and gone, pre-announce it, and Zayn to go, by the way, Roman, or whoever champ is at the time, I'm cashing in at SummerSlam. It's you and me. So Zayn versus, we'll presume, Roman at the minute. And the fact that Roman did well with AJ... the forearm through the table was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So if you think, right, it can hang to someone's degree of AJ, the high-flying stuff, he can easily do it with Sami. But I think Sami can carry a match, but just not as well as AJ carried Roman for that. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think it's just have to wait and see.
But the only other two, this is nothing to do with what culture stuff now or anything. This is just two things I've heard recently. Ryback is officially maybe not even coming back to the WWE.
What? Why?
He's getting sick of it, and apparently he's getting offers from TNA, and he's seriously thinking about it.
Bloody hell.
But it's like... I think he said something like... He felt a little bit like wasted potential. I'm thinking, yes, it's easy to think that, but with your gimmick and your build, you must realise you are just a bloated version of Goldberg. The other thing, which kind of bums me out... is Undertaker has announced that he doesn't want to wrestle again. So,
really,
the story I heard is that after WrestleMania 32, he told Vince, "I don't want to wrestle anymore." And Vince was like, "Right, well, we'll talk about this later on when you've had time to think about it and all that." And Taker was like, "I don't think he said it in a nasty way, but he kind of went, we can talk all you want, but I've made my decision." And he did. What annoyed me, but I respect his decision. Is he doesn't want a retirement match, he doesn't want a farewell Raw or anything, he just wants to go out on his own terms and fade away into withdrawal. But apart from me thinking there's so many fans that want to give you the respect that you deserve and say goodbye to you.
Yeah, you need to have...
Even if it ain't a match, if they go...
say goodbye.
Yeah, but Vince thinks, right, we'll give it a few months, see how he feels.
If that is the case and he just fades off into the mist, that annoys me because the outcome of that cage match at Mania was wrong. Because if that's the case, he didn't want to wrestle anymore... then Shane should have won because he took on Raw. He took on Raw. So it's like if he would have won, he'd have taken on Raw, and then Taker wouldn't be wrestling again, and that would have been worked out perfectly for both parties.
But also,
it just
also saying this WrestleMania will be my last is like where you're contradicting your words. But maybe he's just being a bit smart, and I'm not saying he's going to be greedy, but if he said to Vince, like, I'm thinking about not doing 33 with Cena, Vince will say something like, money. There you go. Please do this. Yeah. The only other thing I thought, or a guy at work said, like, if he does retire, I still think he needs, not a bow-out moment, but one iconic moment. And I thought, if Vince goes, right, I can't convince you, but please be there at WrestleMania 33, you're not going to wrestle, but Miz, I need you for something. If Vince comes out at 33 and goes, yeah, this is it, and saying to the fans, don't you forget, I made this for you. I am your god, blah, blah, blah. Cool, then. Not only you all my bitches, but everybody backstage is my bitches. Because Taker hasn't really done anything since Vince actually called him his bitch. It's like, come on, Taker would follow up on that.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, gong comes off, Taker comes down, and he's like, right, and Vince, he's like, first act's a bit scared, and he goes, listen, Taker, you can do all you want, but to the end of the day, you've been working for my company for the last few years. You are my bitch, like everybody else there. As Taker's like, hat off, coat, yeah, right, this is going to happen. As he takes the step, you hear the squawk of the crow of Sting. Just the lights go out.
Sting's retired.
Yeah, I know. There's going to be no match, but the lights come back on because everybody wants just to see the face-off between these two legends.
Yeah.
So they're there like that, and Vince is like, yeah, take each other apart. They're face-to-face, and then they both just turned to Vince, and I was like, oh. And they lay him out, and then there's still the whole thing, and Sting gets the bat, then points it at Taker, but kind of does a nod of, like, respect to him. Right. And maybe Taker does the knee thing of respect to Sting, or he at least shows respect to Sting in some way, but then the lights go out from the gong. When the lights come back on, it's the squawk of the crow, and neither of them in the ring, and that is the last you will ever see of Sting and the Undertaker. They just disappear into darkness.
Imagine that.
As a personal preference, I'd like, as Vince got up, the glass to break, and Austin go, hey, you calling everyone a bitch back there? You're like, oh, bad person. Awesome. But yeah, right, moving on.
So yeah, we'll do a couple more before we do.
Yeah, we've got 10 minutes before we hit the hour. So.
Right, the Killing Joke.
Right, this is an interesting.
Did you see the trailer?
I did. I was speaking to someone at work about this. I didn't. This is a weird podcast because we're disagreeing a lot.
What's going on, man? I loved it, man. I can't wait to get that on Blu-ray. It looks awesome.
When I heard it was R-rated, I'm thinking, this is going to be awesome. I watched it and I thought, this Joker doesn't seem like the Joker that would entertain me the way others have.
It's still Mark Hamill.
I know, but it just seemed like I wanted, to a degree, you know how the original animated series was?
Yeah.
I wanted that kind of psychotic Joker. This Joker, to me, I mean, I will probably watch it and see for myself, it'll probably be cool. But this Joker, to me, seemed more like I'm a gangster in a clown outfit and I do jokes every now and then. Where I could really believe in the original animated series that Joker had every screw was loose. Like, I just remember remember the Batman of the Future film? Return of the Joker, whatever it was. The scene where I think Batman's come looking for Robin, he finds Joker's lair, and Harley's dusting, even though they're doing the thing. And Joker's just there in an armchair reading the paper, like with a pipe, like, oh, good, you made it. That's the kind of comedy.
Well, I think that will happen. I think maybe the trailer doesn't show much, but it's still public.
There was no dialogue either, was there?
Not really. Well, no, there is a bit of dialogue. Yeah.
Right. Because
there's a bit of dialogue.
I know trailers shouldn't give too much away, but to me, it didn't even give the premise of what the hell is going on.
Well, you haven't read the comic book, have you?
I know what happens in The Killing Joke because it's one of the most popular graphic novels the Batman series has ever done. And again, I don't think I can bring my heart to know, because I know what happens is like,
see it.
The best bit to me was that his hair
going crazy. That moment. Yeah,
I was like that because that's been an iconic image anyway. I was like, that's pretty cool.
There was something else as well. A while back when I spoke to you about this series that I just finished watching, I said that they'll take that character and make it a separate series.
Punisher.
Oh, yes. They've announced it, and the same guy's coming back as well. Oh God, I can't wait for that. Because you've got Luke Cage coming later this year.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I think Jessica Jones season 2 starts next year, and then the Punisher series happens a few months after that. So, Punisher, man, I cannot wait, just because I really enjoyed him in series 2 of Daredevil. He was really awesome, and he played off the characters really well and everything, especially Daredevil. But the great thing about his own thing is that he'll be let loose.
His own story.
He'll be let loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't have Daredevil coming up and trying to stop him from killing people. All we're going to see is him fucking destroying people, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Daredevil stuff yet, but to me it'd be...
It's something you definitely...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of them where when the Punisher appeared in it might have just felt to me like, this is more Daredevil with Frank Castle. Now it's going to be, no, this is the Punisher. Because there's a lot of stuff that was happening on Netflix that sparked my interest, like Jessica Jones a little bit. What was the other one you mentioned? The Luke Cage. Luke Cage. Daredevil. And then these three things happened where I was like, they announced the Punisher. Apparently, you ever watch those things on that Channel 4 used to do called Black Mirror?
Rings a bell,
yeah. They're doing new ones and they're appearing on Netflix. And the comedian Bo Burnham is doing a special purely on Netflix. So it's like, right, there's so much on Netflix I want to see now. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and get this fucking thing.
Well, I mean, I've got the regular one, the regular payment one at the minute, but you can only use one screen for it.
Yeah.
If after the wedding's out of the way, if I bump it up to the next one where you can use two screens, then you can just pay me half. And
yeah, but just speaking of that, just for people who've also got the WWE Network, apparently they're clamping down on the sharing thing now.
Oh, you're joking.
No. Apparently...
Oh, I don't want to have to pay £10 a month.
You tight that. Call me a tight ass.
I'm good.
The thing,
I'll pay you $2.50.
Apparently the thing is, usually we're in the same room and watching a live pay-per-view anyway. It'd just be the case like a fancy network. Oh, shit, someone else was on it.
Yeah.
Apparently, if I went to go on the network, it would inform me if someone else is logged on. You can only be logged on one at a time on a certain system. But it hasn't happened yet. Apparently they're going to clamp down on this. Because I think Twig's got his own account.
Yeah.
One of our other mates, but at the minute I think there's about 5 of us sharing the same account. You, me, Sticks, Matt.
Dan's got his own.
Dan's got his own.
Yeah, so there's you, me, Sticks, and Matt.
So maybe we should just go down to pairs.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but yeah, just thought everybody should know. Right, we've got 5 minutes.
Well, two quick ones before the questions.
All right.
One thing that's made me laugh. They announced that they've got in the Wonder Woman thing they're busy filming at the moment, that they've got a talking tiger as part of the film.
My God.
I don't know too much about the character itself, but apparently in the old Amazonian things, when she's first in Amazon with all the women and everything, they've got a tiger that talks.
Right,
but it's just like, I kind of think it was...
right, you know I mentioned the X-Men thing, with X-Men Apocalypse could cross over with Wolverine.
Yeah.
I do not want Wonder Woman talking to Shere Khan.
Yeah,
no way.
It's not happening. It's just like, is it Shere Khan?
Oh,
it's ridiculous, isn't it? I think it's so stupid.
Oh my God. I've got to see the Jungle Book now to see if Wonder Woman's in it. I just want to see if Wonder Woman's in it. Oh my God.
Makes a cameo.
Yeah.
Hi,
how you doing, Mowgli? Jesus Christ.
The other one was J.K. Simmons. He briefly talked about his role as Commissioner Gordon in the Justice League Part 1. And he said that it is going to be a very small role. Which is a shame, because, I mean... I
like J.K. Simmons.
Again, I know they're going to build up and everything, but J.K. Simmons, man...
I cannot picture anyone else playing J. Jonah Jameson.
No, neither can I. And he's like the only person I would ever say that if you were going to recast him in a new universe as the same character... It's
J.
that
Jonah
one.
Jameson.
It's that one.
Did you see the special feature of his audition for that?
No.
He was bold at the time, but he was just sitting in the living room, he had the script in front of him, and he nailed it, like, bang on, straight away. It's like, you were born for this role! So...
But yeah, it's a shame, because it's wasted talent. It's not going to be there. And it did the same... I mean, you haven't seen it yet, but this isn't really a spoiler. I felt like Martin Freeman's character in Civil War was a bit wasted.
Right, okay.
Awesome acting for the scenes that he was in, but considering how big of an actor he is and how awesome of an actor he is, it was a tiny role, and it wasn't...
So, side note, did you think did they waste Paul Rudd's character? He had a good role there.
Perfect screen time.
That's what I want to hear.
Absolutely, mate. He had all his little spots. They were brilliant.
That's good.
Should we go for questions?
We'll go for questions with Josh. Why not? I don't think I had anything more to add, really.
Right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
You want me to count it? Last time you counted in, we fucked up.
Yeah, we did. Right, okay. So we're going to go 3 and then into it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, 4.
Oh, God, right, confuse me, right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Questions. Oh, we fucked that up.
What? Oh, shit. So it's live.
That was me. Sorry. 3, 2.
So hang on, wait. Questions. So it's just 2 questions.
Sorry.
Okay, right, here we go.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Questions. Questions for Josh.
I like how we both just say blandly now.
So no enthusiasm.
Okay. Right, again, I don't know what's happening.
I've got 3.
This is unscripted. Well, it's all unscripted.
I have 3 questions. I'll do this one quickly because I want you to get this out of the way quickly because I don't want you to harp on it forever. And it's from Matt Goff.
Right, okay, Goff.
He put it in quite a long thing, so I've had to kind of shorten it to get it out quickly.
It's on a post-it note.
It's quite long. So, how would you get WWE out of a rut? Why are they not giving the people what they want? In your opinion?
It's a weird company. The easy answer would be like Vince. He's very set in his ways. If he wants something done, he'll do it. I mean, apparently, even though I'm agreeing with this, he's very pushing for Brock Lesnar versus The Rock at WrestleMania 33. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
The problem is, if I was going to get it out the rut, the first thing I'd do is turn it to TV 14 and then go from there. The people not getting what they deserve, unfortunately, whether they like to admit it or not, if someone don't like you backstage and a bad word is said or a word's in the air like, oh, not him, it might knock you down a peg. So it's very political backstage. That's all I'm going to say. But there are plenty backstage that deserve more than they're getting and others that... Well, the Roman Reigns thing's a good example.
Yeah, I mean, it's like... I always go back to this thing that Punk said on the podcast, on the Colt Cabana podcast. It's very bipolar.
Yeah.
The company's such a very bipolar thing. They twist and move the narrative to make it work for them, and if they don't like something, you get punished if you do something. You know what I mean? It's a very bad. Some of the
ideas are stupid. I mean, if they really want Roman to be champion, fair enough. But the heel movement is the best idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's always going to be swings and roundabouts at that place. But smartly, they might be thinking, like, that's what they want. They want it so much. Which the smart thing is, they might be going, if they want it that bad, they're going to keep watching until it happens.
Yeah.
So it's a smart TV move.
Waiting for something really good to happen.
So it's a smart move on their part.
I mean, these are the 2 questions. They're pretty standard questions, really.
All right.
Right, this one is kind of like a thing where you've got to try and figure out something.
Ah, it's a riddle.
Yeah, it's not a riddle. Right. This dude, Nate Huchin.
Right.
Nate Huchin. I think I said that right. I don't know. I hope I said it right.
Right.
Who has more characters, Marvel or DC?
Oh, right.
I've got the numbers here from what I saw on Google.
Right. So it's not even like, what's your opinion?
Yeah,
Josh?
It's not your opinion, mate. You've got to try and think who's got the more characters.
You see, it's really weird because the way I think it, you see, like, heroes like Captain America and all that, they have a couple of villains they fight, but they usually have the one main rival. Where you got people like Batman and Spider-Man that have multiple
bad guys.
Yeah. I'm going to go with DC purely because I think, and I might be wrong on this, they've been around longer than Marvel.
They have been around longer than Marvel.
Yeah.
But you are incorrect.
What a surprise.
DC have got around 10,000.
Right.
And Marvel have got around 15,000.
Right, now that I think back at that, I should have guessed that really because Stan Lee shits them out weekly. Jesus Christ.
Like the Key and Peele skit.
I watched it. I was about to say that. Just like...
that was good.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I failed you, Nate. But there you go.
Right, the final question, nice simple one. It comes from Falling Through the Roof. And it's spelled THRUDUH, as in
Doof.
The roof.
The roof. Oh, jeez.
He's just simply saying Team Cap or Team Iron Man.
Right.
And this is, you've got to go off the trailers, haven't you, really, because you haven't seen the film. But...
Yeah.
It's difficult. And this is the thing.
When you don't know the premise, it not only am I struggling to know the premise, but I'm thinking, who do I like more and who's on what side? I'm thinking I'm going to go with Iron Man purely because, well, one of the reasons is that if I remember rightly, he had the better team, in my opinion, and I love his character. But I agree with. I think is it the premise that it should be? He said we need to be put in check.
Yeah,
we need to. I agree with that to a degree. I know why Captain America didn't want to do it and all that stuff, but the fact that is like just because you've got an armored suit and stuff doesn't make you a god to people, so you can do what the hell you want. I know Captain America's like, well, no, but we're never going to do anything bad about that. And obviously, examples of what happened in New York and stuff. And again, they saved the day, but it's like if we've got nothing to hide, then what's the problem, kind of thing. It's almost like obviously the first Batman in 89, he was just a vigilante he turned up when he felt like it. Then there was the agreement and a signal was put in the sky. It's almost that premise. Of
to a point, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, not like it's going to be like when we need you, we'll call 911. It's just like, if you're not busy and we need your help, instead of you coming in and destroying everything, you come and do it.
I mean, once you've seen the film, I think...
it's hard to answer without seeing the film.
I think you should take away, when you come out of the film, I'd like to think that you would have flip-flopped back and forth, going, right, I agree with that, but I also agree with that.
All of them, the Avengers at the same time.
At the end of the day, I feel like that's what you're meant to do with this film. You're meant to flip-flop. You're meant to you're meant to accept and understand each side of the story. I mean, if I had to pick, I'm going Team Cap, purely because I'm I don't know why, I just felt...
I think the flip-flop thing is like, right, compared to Iron Man, Captain America is a true hero, but character-wise, Tony's so much cooler.
Tony's awesome,
at least he can have...
I think it's like one of the things that Cap said, he's just like, what if at one point we need to go somewhere and they don't allow us to?
Yeah.
And that's a good point. It's like, what if it's like, well, we signed this Registration Act and we need to go out and save the world there, but they won't let us because of political views, because everyone's got an agenda.
But then that's their own fault. I mean, in that case, they'd be like, well, I'd still be like, well, fuck you. It'd be like, if I didn't go out and save the world...
But then you'd be arrested.
But it's like... I'd like to see the trial. I'd be like, why did you disobey orders? Because if I didn't, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Simple as kind of thing. So that's my view on it. So, I think we'll round that up.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
So, don't forget to like, subscribe, see all the other videos, and make sure you stick questions in the comments and everything, because we need more questions each time for every time the podcast comes up.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be in about a month's time.
Yeah.
By then I'll have a ring on my finger.
Yeah. If he liked it, he should have put a ring on it, and he's going to. And I can't believe I just quoted that song.
I know, what the fuck?
Wow.
Shit too.
If the next one should... Oh, shut up. The next one should be just before Download Festival.
Yeah.
I might be dating their day ticket on the side now. I don't know. But, yeah, we'll do it before Download. So, keep your eyes peeled.
So we'll see you in a month, guys.
Yeah. Bye!